Bahamas may be on the verge tonight of witnessing hurricane history in the hours ahead as Hurricane Matthew looks to make a clean sweep through the islands, prompts unprecedented evacuation advice, and includes in its grasp the tiny island of New Providence, which has for more than 80 years been spared from a full-on assault. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kishla Adderley.
And I'm Chris Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. The Prime Minister brought home the seriousness of the caution ahead of Hurricane Matthew, telling a live television audience today the potentially catastrophic storm is violently unpredictable. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, the latest on Hurricane Matthew's movement from Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean, who's joining us live. Basil.
Thank you, Keisha and Christopher. We continue to track Hurricane Matthew as it now crosses the southern shore of eastern Cuba, making landfall just a short while ago. And what does that mean for us? Well, I would have liked it to move a bit more inland over Cuba, where it would have interacted more with the mountainous terrain, but it seems as though we're not going to have that luck on our side. So it seems as though it's going to maintain that major status as it continues to track through the islands, and the computer models, as we've been saying all day long, are holding on that status as it moves through at least a category 3, possibly a 4. But as we said, we're not going to worry too much about it. It is a major hurricane. It will be impacting the southeast Bahamas tonight. As a matter of fact, you can see heavy rain starting to affect the island of Inagua, gradually spreading into the Turks and Caicos Islands, and things will be going downhill from now heading forward as this system continues to move towards the north. Let's get to the coordinates. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, the center was at 19.8 degrees north, longitude 74.3 west. That puts it 30 miles south-southwest of the eastern tip of Cuba. Maximum sustained winds still at 140 miles per hour. The forecast track, we expect it to continue on that north track during the night, but by tomorrow we anticipate a shift towards the north-northwest, and once that happens, it will take straight aim for the capital, which is New Providence, and that will take place sometime starting on Wednesday afternoon, heading into Wednesday night and Thursday morning. So the key here is to be prepared. We simply have to be prepared for this very dangerous and powerful storm which is moving through our area. Hazards associated with it, we have been talking about it all day long. Rainfall totals of 8 to 12 inches are likely in some of the islands, which can result in significant flooding. So if you live in flood-prone areas, we're asking you to immediately move to higher grounds. Also, storm surge are likely up to 15 feet. And once again, if you live along the coast, particularly along the southern shores of the islands that will be impacted, we're asking you to move to higher grounds to stay safe. Tornadic activity always likely throughout the storm system, and things that you can do to help and keep yourself safe. Very simple things. Complete the boarding up process, particularly if you are in the central and northwest Bahamas. In the southeast Bahamas, you should be bunkering down right now to ride out the storm tonight and tomorrow morning. Clear your properties of debris that will at least minimize flying missiles which can shatter your windows. Clear drainage to allow a free flow of rainwater as we anticipate some heavy rain showers in some places. Secure enough food and water to last you for about 3 days. After that, we should be able to get you out of this safely. Identify the nearest shelter in the event your residence become unsafe. You will have some place to go to until the storm has passed. And most importantly, continue to monitor this storm. Both on radio and TV, we will be giving you new coordinates every 3 hours. Christopher and Keisha?
Basil, I know that we are contemplating the storm hitting the entire Bahamas, but 2/3 of the population lives on New Providence, and that island has not seen a direct hit of a major storm since 1929. That's when that Hurricane 2 of that year killed almost 50 people, tore down about 600 homes, also at the same time damaged another 600. Our population here in New Providence has really blossomed since then, and that's an understatement at best. Are there any more specific concerns that we need to have here in New Providence as we get ready for a direct hit from a major Cat 3, Cat 4 storm?
Absolutely, Christopher. We have seen the coastline of New Providence, populated with luxury homes and resorts and the rest of it. So these are the areas that are more vulnerable to storm surge. So we're asking those property owners to take the necessary steps to secure their properties. When it comes to storm surge, there's nothing much you can do in terms of the structure, but in terms of lives, get those people out of there and to higher ground or more inland where the storm surge impact will not be as great.
All right, thanks a lot, Basil.